All right, so I'm finished off rapid reaction. A lot of topics, a little bit of time. Let's go drink.
Let's roll, baby. Men's basketball is underway. Did anything stick out to you in the early going, Jay?
You mean other than Virginia losing to San Francisco? Nope, nothing else stood out. The NBA has released its preseason schedule, which will run from December 11th through December 19th. You find any of those games interesting?
A few. I see the Clippers and Lakers gonna get it on during that time. I don't know who I will play in the preseason game, but I seen that. I seen it's possible on December 13th we might see the return of one KD back on the court, so that should be interesting. The new look Atlanta Hawks. Anybody? No, maybe that could be a thing. Houston Rockets, they'll still have Westbrook and Harden on their team, so whatever. So I don't know, man. You got some matchups, but with these guys being older or whatnot, you don't know exactly if you're gonna see the star. So I don't know. We'll see how they get down with that. Eagles right tackle Lane Johnson will undergo ankle surgery in the coming days, ending his 2020 season. Your reaction?
Carson Wentz has been sacked 40 times so far this season. I can't imagine how far that number is going to go up, but probably going to see a lot more of those. The Texans have released veteran wide receiver Kenny Stills after he caught just 11 passes in 10 games this season. Do you see a contender signing him?
Yeah. The Ravens could use him. And I had another team on the tip of my tongue that could use them. Ravens for sure. Green Bay, why not? I mean, that collection of crew they got over there, why not? You could slap them in there. So those are the first two contenders that come to my mind. It is other contenders that can use them. I guess the question is Kenny Stills interested in playing and being on those contenders and doing what he got to do? Because that's, to me, that's like the only reason he's not doing anything with the Texans is I don't know if his attitude and his mental state is, trying to be a team player right now. But to answer your question, yeah, it's a couple of contenders out here that could definitely use his services if he's trying to be used. Former Houston Astros and Tampa Bay right-hander Charlie Morton has signed a 1-year, $15 million deal with the Atlanta Braves. Bigger win for the Braves, bigger loss for the Rays?
I think it's a big win for the Braves. I think it's a blow to the Tampa Bay Rays, but I think they have the pitching depth and the bullpen to kind of withstand it. Whereas I think it's a huge win for the Braves, and maybe could be a move that makes them perhaps the World Series favorite for the National League. Los Angeles Clippers have signed former Toronto Raptor Serge Ibaka. The Clippers needed a move like this, didn't they?
They definitely did. Let's be real. Their offseason been pretty lackluster. The table has been turned from last offseason where they was just making this move and that move and just lighting up free agency. Not quite this year. I think it's a good move. Listen, a veteran like Serge Ibaka, bring him off the bench, some size. That's what the Clippers need, some size. A wonderful move. I thought, and the bigger part of this move is you kept the Lakers from getting them because the Lakers was going for them too. So I think it's a good move. I'm not mad at it at all. The coronavirus pandemic has caused the cancellation of the New Era Pinstripe Bowl. It's the eighth bowl game that's been canceled so far. Big deal, little deal, no deal.
I want to say no deal, but it's probably a little deal. I mean, these are the football games that are getting canceled, and schools are probably losing out on all the money they get from going to them. But I can't say it's a big deal because when I saw this headline, I thought it was the first bowl game that canceled, and then I pull up the actual press release, and it says the 8th bowl game. This is a travesty. But as long as the college football playoff don't get canceled, I could care less. Tonight on the Triller pay-per-view at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, it's the legend and Hall of Famer Iron Mike Tyson coming out of retirement to fight the former pound-for-pound king and also Hall of Famer Roy Jones Jr. Drink, what interests you, if anything, about this fight?
Listen, let's go ahead and roll out the Icy Hot Premium, the wheelchairs, the handicap signs, the AARP memberships. This is going to roll it out, the retirement, the pensions, you got it. we got two old timers, but listen, these two old timers are legends, so I can't take nothing away from them. In their heyday, these guys was the cream of the crop. So it's worth watching just because of what they've done and who they are. But it is some rules and stipulations that I must throw out right quick while we're on the subject. This is an exhibition bout. This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds. This will have knockouts. This bout will have no judges. This bout will have no win or loss record. So keep that in mind when you roll in here thinking you're gonna see a slugfest and you notice it looks a little different. That's why this bout will not go on either guy's record because it's an exhibition. So for $49.99, I expected a little more, but that's what we got. Iron Mike Tyson here, a drawing power. So those are some things to look out. But, I think Iron Mike Tyson wins, however you win this bout. I think he's going to win it. And but it should be somewhat entertaining, I guess. The Sacramento Kings have signed big man Hassan Whiteside and Frank Kaminsky to a one-year contract. How much of an impact do you see them having?
Whiteside will probably, put up some, 15 points, 8 rebounds, couple blocks. Some of them empty numbers, I like to call them. But I think it's pretty telling that it's this late, and it seems to be this late in NBA free agency, and this is the best the Kings can do. So probably can go ahead and pencil them in for last place in that Pacific Division. Last one also tonight at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas it's a light heavyweight main event between Anthony Smith and Devin Clark. Who you got, Drink?
I'm gonna go with Anthony Smith. Hey, this was a late change. The original main event was between Curtis Blaydes and Derrick Lewis, but Curtis Blaydes tested positive for COVID yesterday, I think, or the day before, 1 or 2 days. So they had to, UFC had to scramble right quick and get them a main event replacement. This was it. Yes, this replacement will be for 5 rounds, even though they was contracted at 3. Both guys agreed. This will be a 5-round main event. I'm gonna take Anthony Smith just solely on the fact that I never even heard of this guy, Devin Clark. So with that said, that's what it is, and that's my pick. I'll let you boy.
All right, that concludes today's Drink of Wisdom. I'm Cody Ward.
I'm Jay Wise.
And I'm Nathan Drinking. And remember, make tomorrow better than today, and make today better than yesterday. And you know what we gonna do. Roll Tide, baby. We gonna holler at you until next time, baby.